An abandoned Boeing C-17 Globemaster III decays silently on this forgotten airbase.
The first helicopter survey reveals the abandoned Boeing C-17 from above.
Drone footage exposes major structural damage across the abandoned C-17 airframe.
Heavy corrosion patterns cover the Boeing C-17's abandoned exterior shell.
Missing panels and stripped sections reveal years of aircraft abandonment.
Before landing, the team assesses safety around the abandoned Boeing C-17.
The inspection team lands beside the rusted Boeing C-17 wreck. A full perimeter check begins around the abandoned military transport aircraft. Every damaged exterior detail of the Boeing C-17 is photographed. The abandoned C-17 landing gear shows severe corrosion and instability. Rust mapping reveals widespread corrosion across the C-17 fuselage. Wing integrity is compromised by rust, stress, and long-term exposure. Cracks and deformation dominate the abandoned C-17 tail section.
The Boeing C-17 nose cone shows advanced weathering and impact damage.
Stabilizers and flaps appear seized by corrosion and neglect. Fasteners and joints show critical corrosion across the C-17 frame. Landing gear corrosion threatens any future movement or restoration. Exterior panel integrity has failed across multiple sections of the aircraft. Engine nacelles show rust, exposure, and several missing components.
The team enters the abandoned Boeing C-17 for interior assessment.
Cockpit instruments are frozen in corrosion inside the abandoned C-17.
Flight control systems show extensive decay and mechanical seizure. Inside the cabin, structural wear is visible along the entire airframe.
The floor and bulkheads have deteriorated under years of neglect. The electrical system is stripped, exposed, and severely corroded.
Seat frames and harnesses have collapsed under years of abandonment.
Fuel and plumbing systems show visible damage, corrosion, and risk.
Hydraulic systems appear corroded, contaminated, and likely inoperative.
Detailed photographs document every damaged component of the C-17. Missing and damaged parts are logged throughout the abandoned aircraft. A full condition report begins for the abandoned Boeing C-17.
This abandoned C-17 is compared against an operational Globemaster III.
The aircraft serial number may unlock its military service history.
Unusual modifications and abnormal damage are carefully recorded.
Weather, moisture, and exposure accelerated corrosion on this abandoned C-17.
The final inspection report is prepared for the active base team.
The active airbase receives the first abandoned C-17 condition update.
Restoration planning begins for the Boeing C-17 recovery mission.
Transport logistics are critical for moving the abandoned military aircraft.
Every team member receives a specific recovery role and task.
A full safety briefing precedes any attempt to lift the aircraft.
Strict communication protocols guide the abandoned aircraft airlift operation.
The Boeing C-17 restoration timeline is mapped step by step.
Tools, manpower, and parts are assessed for full aircraft restoration.
Structural clearance is confirmed before the abandoned C-17 is moved.
Loose aircraft parts are removed before transport begins.
Fragile panels are secured to prevent damage during transport.
Heavy-duty lifting cables are attached to the abandoned C-17. Tension the main line. Hold it there, easy now.
Weight and balance calculations determine a safe aircraft lift.
Crane and transport capers confirmed for the C-17 recovery. A final visual inspection checks every critical lift connection.
The last safety check clears the abandoned Boeing C-17 for movement.
Cable tension is monitored constantly during the aircraft lift. The team avoids structural stress as the damaged aircraft lifts. The recovered aircraft clears rough terrain on its route out.
Ground teams guide every meter of the aircraft airlift.
The aircraft is stabilized mid-transport to prevent further damage.
The abandoned aircraft is lowered onto its transport platform.
The Boeing C-17 is secured for controlled transport to base. The abandoned C-17 begins its final journey to restoration.
The aircraft is positioned precisely inside the restoration bay. Temporary supports stabilize the aircraft before restoration begins.
Scaffolding rises around the C-17 for full structural access.
Restoration tools and equipment are prepared for the recovery phase. Every missing Boeing C-17 component is cataloged for replacement. Surface rust and debris are cleared from the aircraft exterior. The aircraft's initial restoration state is recorded in full. Personnel safety checks are completed before restoration work starts.
Severely corroded panels are removed from the Boeing C-17.
Damaged wing sections are repaired to restore structural integrity. Damaged wing sections are repaired to restore structural integrity.
The tail and stabilizers are reinforced for long-term stability.
Replacement fuselage sections bring the abandoned aircraft back together. Landing gear and wheel assemblies are rebuilt for support.
Engine mounts and nacelles are restored section by section.
Corrosion treatment protects every exposed metallic aircraft component.
Corrosion treatment protects every exposed metallic aircraft component.
Protective coatings seal the C-17 against future rust damage. Exterior panels are reassembled as the aircraft takes shape again. Structural integrity testing confirms the aircraft can move forward.
New electrical systems replace the abandoned aircraft's damaged wiring.
Hydraulic and fuel systems are overhauled for safe operation.
New avionics and flight controls modernize the Boeing C-17.
The abandoned aircraft cabin is fully refurbished inside and out. The cargo hold is restored for structure, strength, and function. Restored aircraft systems are tested for real operational functionality.
Safety certification checks validate the restored Boeing C-17.
Final detailing transforms the once abandoned C-17 exterior. The Boeing C-17 is ready for service, preservation, or display.